Okay. All right, checking our connections, looking good. Welcome to the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. I just want to make sure we're good on LinkedIn and YouTube. Make sure we're broadcasting. I think we are. There we go. Yes, we are. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I am Robert A. Lane. I am an audiobook coach and producer, and I specialize in helping nonfiction authors like yourself. If you are a published nonfiction author and you've got a fabulous book out there and it's not in audiobook form, this is where I can help you. This is where I can help you. As an audiobook coach and producer, I do specialize in helping nonfiction authors turn their book into an audiobook. You can turn your book into an audiobook. And here's the beauty of it. You are the one, you, the author, are the one who are narrating your audiobook, because no one can tell your story better than you, period. On today's episode here of the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat, we're talking about audiobook distribution and what you need to know about that. Okay, so before we dive into that, a couple of things. Let's see here. First of all, here we go. First of all, I wanted to tell you about the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, which I do every Thursday night. Join me live, just like we do the coffee chat here. Join me live on the podcast tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. No guest today, but what I will be talking about is narrating your audiobook. So the official title is Narrate Your Audiobook. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Okay. Yes, we're going to dive into some of the barriers that stop authors from narrating their own audiobook, some of the excuses authors tell themselves to justify not narrating their audiobook. So, man, we're going to dive into that, and let's crush some of these false beliefs. Let's break down some barriers. So join me tonight for a great podcast. And again, since I do this live, I really want you to participate. All right. You can call in, you can comment and get involved in the show and share your thoughts in the conversation. So we'd love to have you there. Also, again, if you are a nonfiction author and you are considering turning your book into an audiobook, again, I'm a big advocate that all nonfiction authors need to narrate their own audiobook. And I would love to help you accomplish that by enrolling in the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. And really the only thing you need to do is just schedule a call. That's the first step. Book a call with me. Let's talk about your book and your marketing strategies and about distribution, which we're going to talk about in more detail on today's coffee chat. But book a call. Let's talk about your book. We'll get you enrolled, and it'll only take you 6 weeks from setup and preparation to narration to getting your audiobook uploaded for publication on Audible, Amazon, and Apple. Only 6 weeks. Book your call. It's a graphic on the screen there for those of you who are watching on YouTube and on LinkedIn. On those of you on Instagram, remember, go to my profile page, click on my link. It'll say about scheduling an audiobook consultation call. Click on it. It goes to my calendar. This is a free consultation. No, I don't charge. People shouldn't charge for that. Some people do, but I don't. So go ahead and book a call. Let's talk about your book and get you enrolled. All right. And finally, I do want to let you know that I do have a free audiobook narration reference guide that you can download. It's on my website. If you go to robertlanecoaching.com, you can grab it there. It's right there on the homepage. But it's a great narration reference guide that's free to you to utilize as a source to be better at your narration. Great tools and techniques in there for you to grab. All right. Again, Instagram, you know the routine. Go to my profile page, click on that link. All right. And on YouTube and LinkedIn here, you will see these links in the description. So by all means, click on them. Okay. So today's topic, oh, by the way, this is Coffee Chat. I do have my brew. Today's cup is courtesy of the Los Angeles Kings. Here you go. I am a hockey fan. I am a Kings fan. Been a Kings fan since their uniforms were purple and gold. That's how long ago. All right. A matter of fact, the first season I started watching the LA Kings was Luke Robitaille's rookie season. Long time ago. So cheers. Oh, gosh, that is good. I need it. This is actually not my usual elixir of life, which is why I say BYOC, bring your own creamer. I would provide it for you if we weren't virtual. But I got tea today, been dealing with allergies and a sore throat because of the allergies. So tea to try to soothe the the throat a little bit. All right, so let's dive into our topic, and that is about audiobook distribution. Okay. Now, the big question, of course, is where should you have your audiobook distributed? What are the best places? There are 40, 50 plus different distribution platforms that you can be on. Okay. So the first question that you need to ask yourself as you are preparing to narrate your own audiobook and go through that process, the first question that you need to ask yourself is a marketing question. What is it that you want to do with your audiobook? Where do you want to market your book? Where do you feel would be the most successful place to have your audiobook distributed? That's a very important question because there are many authors that I've worked with and that I've spoken to who say, yeah, I want to do my audiobook and I just want to put it everywhere. And that's fine. You can, but if it doesn't fall into a very specific marketing strategy, you're just throwing it out there. You know the old saying about throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks? Doesn't really compute when it comes to a viable marketing strategy. Okay, so think about again, where is the best place that you feel you'd get the most response, the most sales, the most exposure for your audiobook? Because remember, you are an author, which means you are an author brand. And figuring out what you're going to do with your audiobook, where you're going to have it distributed is part of your marketing strategy because that is your product. Okay. And you have to do some research, figure out, okay, where should I publish my audiobook? Where should I have it marketed? Now, in my audiobook coaching program, of course, I get you on Audible, Amazon, and Apple. That's a given. If there are other distribution platforms that you need to be on, not just only want, but just need to be on, then we'll definitely get you on those platforms as well. But again, ask that question. What is the best marketing strategy for you? Now, doing this, as I have been for the last few years of helping authors turning the book into audiobooks, coaching them, and getting them published, Audible, Amazon, and Apple, the AAA is what I call it, you need to be on those three platforms. Now, I'm not saying, and they don't tell me or pay me to promote their distribution platforms. Amazon isn't paying me. But the reason why you need to be on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, and I'm not saying that they're the best platforms out there, but they are the most popular. The general public knows Audible. The general public knows Apple and Amazon, of course. They know the AAA. So that means that you do need to be on those distribution platforms because people will find you, because the general public goes there first. It's just the first thing that they do. And remember that a lot of people and they ask authors, oh yeah, I just published my book. Oh, great. Is it on Audible? I love audiobooks. And they ask for it by brand name. So that's another reason why you need to be on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, because people do ask for that by brand name. Are you on Amazon? Can I get it on Apple Books? Or, I have an Audible subscription. So you do need to be on that distribution platform, and you should include that. Now, whether you are exclusive on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, or not exclusive, that's up to you. And that's, again, where you need to ask yourself the question, what is my marketing strategy? Let's say you have a lot of success with having your book, let's say before you decided to do your audiobook, your book is in libraries, and maybe it is on Barnes & Noble, or maybe it's on any of those other distribution platforms that are out there, and it's doing well. Well, then it makes sense to not be exclusive on Audible, Amazon, and Apple so that you can publish your audiobook anywhere that you want to put it on. If Barnes & Noble works for you, put it on Barnes & Noble. If, again, putting it in libraries works for you, get your book out in libraries. And there are distribution platforms that focus on, obviously Barnes & Noble, but for libraries, there are distribution platforms that do distribute your book to libraries. So, I mean, it depends. It depends on what works best for you. Okay. So when you're considering audiobook distribution, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you figure out where you get the most results, especially with your book. I mean, you can see if you're selling tons of books on Amazon, then get on Audible and be exclusive. All right. Now, if you're questioning, well, what does that mean, exclusive or non-exclusive? What that means is when you are published on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, you can be distributed exclusively with them or non-exclusively, which again gives you the ability to distribute your audiobook in any other place in addition to Audible, Amazon, and Apple. The only difference is that they will pay you less money if you are non-exclusive as opposed to being exclusive, okay? And again, you get a percentage, just like with your book, you get a percentage of your sale, okay? So if you're exclusive with Audible, Amazon, and Apple, you get a 40% payout for each audiobook you sell. If it's non-exclusive, then it is 25%. So just something to keep in mind. But again, the most important thing is what distribution platform works best for you. That's the key factor because you are a business. You are an entrepreneur because you're a published author. Love being an entrepreneur. It's a great thing. It's hard work, but it is a great thing. It really is because you're in control of your product. That's why I love working with authors, especially if you're self-published, because you are in control of your product. Now, yeah, it's great to be on a traditional publisher. You're going to get the distribution. You're going to get a lot of things that are harder for us as self-published authors to do, just like in the music business. You can put out your music, or you could be with a label. Now, the label will get you out there, but you are relinquishing a lot of control over your product. So, I'm a big supporter of authors who say, you know what, I'm going to self-publish my book. And I think it's a great thing because there are so many good book professionals that are out there that can help you self-publish your book so it looks so professional you can't even tell the difference between something that was published by Simon & Schuster or published by you. You could put those books side by side and you wouldn't even know the difference, okay? And that's the beauty about self-publishing. But again, when it comes to distribution, we have to do a little bit more work as we self-publish. But remember, where's the best place that you feel would be most, you can say profitable, most exposure, whatever the goals are that you are striving to reach with your book and with your audiobook, figure it out. But I do recommend that you are on Audible, Amazon, and Apple because those three distribution platforms are the ones that people go to first or go to the most. All right. So again, keep that in mind. So when it comes to distribution, you should be on the AAA, Audible, Amazon, and Apple, but there are, again, 40, 50 other distribution platforms that can work for you. All right. Something to think about, something to plan out. And again, have a strategy, have a marketing strategy. And speaking of strategies, just again, quick advice, especially if you're a self-published author, when you launch your book, it's a big deal. It's a great thing, and if you do it right, you could even become a #1 bestseller on Amazon. All right. You can do it. However, don't stop marketing your book after you launch. And I see a lot of authors drop off, after 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe even 2 months later, they're not talking about their book anymore. They're not promoting it like they did when they were hyping up their book launch. So again, don't stop with PR and marketing for your book. Get out there. Do interviews. Get on podcasts. Go to bookstores. Do live book signings. Go to book conventions. Talk about it on groups and LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and wherever else, whatever your social media is, TikTok, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I was just thinking of all these different social media platforms. But whatever works for you, okay? And you know what works for you, okay? You are the CEO of you. So make good business decisions for your author brand, all right? All right, so that's really all I wanted to share with you in regards to audiobook distribution as we touch on that. Remember, this is Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. I do this as an open forum coffee chat. If you do have any topics or anything about the audiobook world that you want to talk about, by all means, let me know. You can always join the coffee chat live as I do it here every Thursday, or, send me a message. And if you have a great topic, I would love to talk about it. And again, a reminder that tonight is the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. Join me tonight as, again, narrate your audiobook. What are you afraid of? And we're going to crush some fears that authors have in regards to making excuses for not narrating their own audiobook, because all nonfiction authors do need to narrate their own audiobook. And if that's you, you need to do it. So join me tonight, 8 p.m. in the East Coast. How about on the East Coast? 5 p.m. Pacific time. Go to the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. Have a little button that says live. That's where all their live streams are. Click on that at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific tonight, and you will be able to participate in the show as we do it live, okay? Again, on Instagram, the link is there. On my profile page, it'll say, it'll talk about the podcast, so you can join it live there. And of course, on LinkedIn and YouTube, you have it in your description as well. All right. I'm going to do another toast to you because you are awesome human beings. So toasting to you. This is Coffee Chat. However, it is tea chat for me today. Okay. Well, hopefully I get my throat better. But anyway, my final assignment for you, as I do with every live, whether it's a podcast or the coffee chat or any other live, and that is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment. It takes 10 seconds out of your day. Nothing. Whew, gone. 10 seconds. But that small gesture of kindness can make the world a difference in somebody's life, because you don't know what someone's going through, and maybe they are having a really, really tough day. And just by doing a little act of kindness can make a world of difference. So be a life changer, be a world changer, and be a positive human being. All right. Thank you so much for joining Coffee Chat. We'll see you tonight on the Your Book, Your Voice podcast on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And with that, my friends, we'll be talking to you soon. So we'll say goodbye to our YouTube and LinkedIn friends first. Thank you so much for tuning in.